Hi, welcome back to this channel. If you are a subscriber, or hi if you are new. I normally do a lot of reaction videos to music, but I also do some other videos of starting to incorporate them into my channel, and one of them is working on watches. This particular video will be on something we get in sometimes from our clients or customers even. So I run a repair shop, and the repair shop works with many watches and clocks and all matters of horology, and sometimes we get jobs just like this. So somebody sent this in, they said, can you change the battery of this watch? So I'm just going to take you through the process and show you how we do it, and I'll show you some tools I use as well. The very first thing I need to do, well, anybody needs to do, is determine whether it is actually an automatic or a battery, also known as a quartz. You can tell that pretty easily just by the wind up. If you wind it up, this has got obviously a clock, it's got a date, so we just change that to the 10th, which is 10th of March today, and the time. It is 5:51. Obviously this will change by the time we actually do it, but let's try and aim for 6 o'clock. Right, okay. So we've got that set. So we know it's not a wind-up clock because there is no actual winding mechanism, so it's not an automatic. First thing I need to do is get this back off. So to get the back off, you can have a variety of different backs to watches. Sometimes you require, you have these like small notches that go around the watch, and you require a fork tool like this that you may have come across. We're not going to use this in this case, and the reason is because there are no notches at the back, so we're going to use a watch knife. Very simple tool like this, and it's used to just prod into the back here and lift it up. Okay, but before we do that, I mean, you can sometimes lift it directly, but I prefer to take the strap off, or at least one of the connections in the straps off. I prefer to do that because it gives me easier access to the back, and what I don't want to do is scratch it. So we do this by I use this tool. So this tool, it's got like you probably can't see that, apologies. You might be able to make it out a little bit. This has got like a tiny fork on the end of it, and it goes into these areas here, and in here there is a pin. Try and get a close-up of that. In here there is a pin, so there, you can see it there. So this goes into there, you press it down, and the pin comes out. This can be a bit fidgety. It does, even me, and I've been doing this for a long time, it takes me a few tries. What you don't want to do is damage the pin. There we go. Took a bit of doing, but we managed to do it in the end. So once that's off, we can now have a look at the watch. So here you can see there has been some scratches here, so somebody has attempted this and succeeded before. That's never a good thing, but at least it's on the back of the watch. So next thing we do is use our knife, and now this might be a bit tricky, it might take a few tries, but I would not give up on this bit very easily, and I would not put a lot of pressure in there. You do not want to scratch the watch, so that's very important. So what you're looking for here is you're looking for a notch that you can try and zoom in. You can see that little notch there. Now that notch is designed for something to go behind it and lever up. Well, I've taken the other side off as well, just to make sure there's no notch on the other side, because sometimes there is. Because I was finding that a little bit challenging, and I don't want to get to the stage where I'm actually damaging the watch. There we go. You heard that click. So now we can take the back off. Right. Okay, so that's a very simple, if you like, Chrome system. Sorry, Quartz system, not Chrome. Funny enough, we're just gone past 6 o'clock and we're not in yet, so let's just change that. We can change it after. I just like giving myself a target. So there's a watch, itself. There's battery, so very carefully, do be careful here, flick the battery out. And as anyone that deals with watches will tell you, it's not always easy getting the right size. So on the back of the battery, there should be, I mean, a lot of these are in Japanese, but it should say, I don't know if you can read that, the battery that we need. Try and get it in the light. Well, anyway, I can read it. So you've got to try to get like for like, which is what I did. In this case, it was the 371. It says here, and that's just really the size of the battery. Try and get the Swiss ones, Swiss made. It's always easier just to get like for like. On the back of one battery, it will tell you what you need. Right, so there you go. And we can't tell because it's got no second hand, but it should be working. You can't just have a look at the minute hand because it should obviously go up. But it should now be working. Well, we'll soon find out. We'll put this on 4 minutes past. You can sit and stare at this, but if you look at that minute hand, you should be able to see some movement. Because, you know, it does change one rotation every 60 seconds, so you can already see that's gone in a fair bit. And that's how you know the watch is working. Anyway, you can take my word for it, it's working. So the next thing we need to do is, you can see the minute hand now, it's matched up to 5 past, which is the time. So there you go. Right, okay. Next thing you need to do is close it. So some of these come with a what we call a gasket. A gasket is usually a nylon band or a rubber band that goes around here. This particular one doesn't come with a gasket, so it means that there's no real pressure required, which means make sure you get the back in straight. You should be able to just click it. Try not to put too much pressure on the actual crystal. The crystal is the front. Okay, that's not going on, so I'm going to actually introduce another tool. It's a good time to do that, good opportunity, which is a case closer. So a case closer is a very simple tool you use. It has different sizes for different size watches, and it just kind of presses the back and the front together. If there is any difficulty, don't put too much pressure on that crystal. You don't want to crack this. So find an appropriate size, so that kind of fits that. Never put this on top of the crystal. You always want to use the edge. So you see that? It matches with the edge. It's about the right size, but I can even use that if I want, and that'll probably be safer, as long as this doesn't disrupt the crown. Okay, so we can put that on top of here. So it screws in place like that. And the same in the bottom. Actually, I want to put that down at the bottom. There you go. And the other side. So this one, you want it to be something to press the circumference of your actual watch. So try and find something that will fit. That'll do a good job. I mean, even that would fit. It's a bit small, but it'll do the trick, and I'll show you. So that goes on there. purpose of this is to make sure that the pressure is the same throughout, so you don't get anything called pinching. Pinching is where one side is locked in and the other isn't. You should really put a cloth under this, but I don't have one to hand, so I'm not gonna. Just make sure this is actually straight. Make sure you tighten this, because that's got to be completely straight in there, right? So I haven't got, because I don't have a cloth at hand, I'm just going to use just a paper towel, just to soften the blow for the actual watch end. So put it that way, make sure it's kind of centralized, press it down, it's nice and even. There you go, did you hear that click? That means it's closed. Right. So now we just check the watch again. So remember, this was at 5 minutes past. Now it's gone to 8 minutes past, which is the time. So it's taken 3 minutes to do that. Okay. Next thing we need to do is, now we've got a new battery in there and it's working, is we need to put these back on. Much easier to put on than they are to take off. So all you do is you punch. I say that they can be a bit fidgety, but I'll show you anyway. So you punch one of these in to the actual hole. So in here you can see the hole is there. You can see the pin coming out there. So you align it. That will naturally push the other side out. Or I prefer to do it this way. Turn the watch around, because you can only get into these pins from the back. Once you turned it around, put one side in, and the other side needs to be forced in while one side is up. So you manage to get the sides on, these edges getting back into place, just basically pushing the pins in and putting them in, and that's it. That's how you fix a battery on a watch. And as you can see, time is 7:34. The laptop is the same. I'm presuming that's right. And on my iPad. So yeah, sounds good. Looks good, sorry. And that's pretty much it. Thank you.